Talking about the main character from Turning Red, watching Trash Taste. I actually had my first, I guess, celebrity moment that I haven't. I don't think I've talked about on Trash Taste.
Your first
yet.
clout moment?
Yeah, my first clout.
Real
moment.
clout moment?
Yeah, no, where it was weird, right? Because of course it was in LA, meeting a celebrity. Of course. Yeah, people talk about it all the time, but it happened for me once actually, and. It's so weird because being on Trash Taste and talking about, guys, if you see me on the street, don't be afraid to say hi. I'm not going to bite, just come say hi, take a picture, I'll sign something, whatever. I don't care. We've said that so many times on Trash Taste.
Yeah.
But then when it happened to me on the other side in real life, I became everything that I warned against, right? So me and Sydney were having lunch in this cafe in LA. And it was like a Mexican restaurant or something. We were just having like a quick lunch and a beer there. And then Sydney was like, is that who I think it is? And I turn around. I'm like, who are you talking about? And she points to like a table right in the corner, right? And she's like, I think that's the waitress from Always Sunny in Philadelphia, which if you haven't watched Always Sunny in Philadelphia, it's like a sitcom. It's one of mine and Sydney's like favorite sitcoms of all time. And there's a character in there that's not one of the main characters, but kind of like a side character that's reoccurring.
Right.
And her name's the waitress. And I was like, and she points to her and I'm like, shit, that is the waitress.
Right.
And I'm like, and Sydney and we both want to take a picture. We both want to say hi and take a picture. And I'm like, no. Sydney, no, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. Sydney, don't do this. Don't do this.
Sydney's like, I need my cloud. I need my dose of cloud. I'm going to die, John. I need some cloud. I'm shivering from lack of cloud.
And like, for the first time, I got it. I understood that feeling now of just like...
You can't just go up to someone.
you can't just go up because I'm like, no, we can't go up there.
Well, I mean, if it's in a restaurant, it's a lot more awkward.
Yeah. Obviously, and also they were sitting right in the corner as well. And me, my brain, I was like, I've been here before. If I'm sitting in the corner, I don't want to be noticed. And she was sitting in the corner table, on the corner of the corner table. So I'm like, no, I can't do it. I can't go up I can't go up there. But luckily, Sydney being the fucking Giga Chad, being like, go on. I'll do it. I'll fucking do it.
Step aside, herbivore. I will do it.
I will do it. I'm like, Sydney, no, Sydney, stop. Don't do it. And then she walks up and she says, yeah, can I get a picture? And of course, it was exactly that. It was everything that I said would happen, which was, of course, she was more than happy. She was like very excited to take a picture. And I'm just like, damn, I feel like such an ass. I feel like such an idiot right now.
I had that exact same thing at the con in Miami.
Right.
Except like you'd think that because you're at a convention, it would be easier than say like a restaurant setting, right? Because every like famous person who's there is there to meet people, right? So it's like already pre-established, right? But Connor and I were in the green room. Right, which is like the one part of the con for guests, for guests of the con to just like chill out and just like kind of have a little bit of peace and quiet and privacy and stuff like that, right?
Yeah,
because that's how I feel when I go into a green room. But so I feel that's the worst place to be able to go up to someone, right? In my head, right? But then exact same thing. He was sitting in the corner, just like chilling on his phone, and I'm like, I think that's Adam Savage from Mythbusters.
Oh,
and I was just like, that's definitely. And I checked the website just to make sure. I was like one of those people. I'm like, or is it just a lookalike? I don't know. So I went on and I'm like, oh, that's Adam from Mythbusters. And I was just like, I remember I turned to Connor. I was like, I have to say hi.
I was like, go ahead.
Yeah. And Connor's just like, just go ahead. I'm like, yeah, but, and I was second guessing. I was just like, yeah, but he's like chilling in the corner. I don't know if he wants to be left alone and shit like that. And then it wasn't until my handler was like, just fucking go up to him. I was just like, oh, okay. So then I went up to him. Yeah, because, I think it's because we're not used to being, as you said, we're not used to being on the other side of that.
Yeah.
Because, like you don't often run into celebrities in your daily life, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, as I was walking up to him, I was just imagining every worst possibility that could happen, right? I'm like, oh, what if he's an asshole? What if he just like turns me away? What if he just like denies a photo? Blah, blah, blah. Of course, that didn't happen. He was the nicest fucking person ever. And he was just like, yeah, let's take a photo. And like stood up and everything. And it was like 5-second interaction, but I'm like, yeah. All right.
No, because like it taught me so much because just meeting, I believe her name is Mary Elizabeth Gwynn. I think that's her name. The waitress.
The waitress.
just meeting her and being able to take a picture, bro. That just made our day. Honestly,
absolutely.
Even just that short interaction of just like, damn, I've seen you so much, and you've had like indirectly just such a big effect, such a big effect on a lot of our evenings. Damn, that felt good. It literally, I was like, because I've heard fans say, "Damn, just meeting me made their day or whatever." I'm like, I'm not. Don't please don't say that.
You're a piece of shit.
I am not that good. But like me, just being able to take a picture and shitting yourself. Going up to them, taking the picture, I'm like, I get it now, guys. I get it. Okay.
You got starstruck.
Yeah, I got starstruck.
We got to speak to Adam and his team a little bit.
Yeah,
we were in one of the cars, so we got to speak to him. It's nice.
Yeah, he's a really nice guy.
I don't know why. Like, I don't. This is not me trying to be a contrarian. Or I'm so fucking cool. For me, I don't know. Like, I don't really want to take pictures with like celebrities or anything. It doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time it doesn't for me as well. The only reason this mattered to us was because Always Sunny. We'd watch all of the seasons of Always Sunny, like maybe 5, 10.
I grew up with Mythbusters, so it's like one of my favorite shows.
Maybe there's a show or something that will change your mind, but for me, it's like, even if I got a picture with them, I'm like, all right, well, I mean, I would have preferred to have an organic conversation at some point, but obviously you can't force that.
Yeah.
So to me, it's like,
because you don't want to be that guy, right?
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I just don't. I don't really get starstruck by anyone as well. Like, I just kind of like, I'm like, if I happen to talk to someone who did something I've watched, that's really fucking cool and that's awesome. Yeah. But if I don't, I'm still gonna live my life.
No, exactly. Like, there is some, like, I'm not like, I wouldn't be this like every celebrity. There's like,
right. Okay,
if I meet like fucking Leonardo DiCaprio, I'd be like, that's really cool. It's Leonardo DiCaprio, but I wouldn't be like, he hasn't had a massive effect on my life. But
I'd still be shitting myself.
I'd be shitting myself. But like, but like, it would be different if I had met something like, I'm trying to think, Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
Grew up with his films, fucking respect the shit out of him. If I got a chance to meet him, that's like one person off the top of my head I would actually be starstruck about.
Yeah.
Because he's done a lot.
He'd probably tell you to fuck off as well.
I fucking love that. Actually, that was...
Fuck off, Garn.
It's like, Quentin told me to fuck off. I'm so honored.
That I would probably like that, actually. I'd be like, yo, Quentin Tarantino told me to fuck off.
Yeah. That'd be amazing.
That would be a good
Reporters are the kind of dude, he rocks up to a McDonald's and like, what do you want for your order? Like, fuck off. I want a milkshake. That's the kind of energy he gives off. Like
I'll give you an extra one.
Like, he goes somewhere and then tells them to fuck off.
Yeah.
That's the kind of energy he gives off.
Because every time I see just a Quentin Tarantino interview, I'm like, oh, Quentin Tarantino is just a Quentin Tarantino character in a Quentin Tarantino movie. Like, it's... he talks exactly like one of the characters, any of the characters he would write. And it's just... God, what I would give just...
Well, that's why he's in his own movies a lot of the time, because he doesn't have to act. That's just him.
Yeah, exactly, right? But yeah, like, is there anyone you'd think you'd be starstruck about if you ever met them in real life?
I mean, Adam isn't the only one I've been starstruck by. The first person I ever felt like that feeling of starstruck, which I'm probably talked about, was I met Obata Takeshi at a con. He's the guy who drew Death Note.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, he was at a con randomly, and that was the one time where
Japan or the US?
In Canada. Yeah. He was a guest at, I think, at Otakuthon one of the years where I was a guest at. And it was really, I think I've told this story, but like basically we went to the opening ceremony because we were guests. And then they were like, introducing each of the guests, blah, blah, blah. There's a bunch of voice actors, a couple of YouTubers, stuff like that. And then they were like, now for the Japanese guests. And then they'd list off a couple of people. And they were like, and finally we have the one of the creators of Death Note, Obata Takeshi. And he just didn't stand up.
Yeah.
And so everyone in that room thought, oh, he's just not there. Right, he just didn't show up to the meeting. Whatever. And I was just like, maybe I'll see him.
Little did you know, you can't understand English.
Yeah,
yeah.
I was like, maybe I'll see him. But I wasn't thinking like, oh, I'll get to meet him and whatever. Maybe I'll see him in a distance, while I'm walking through the con or whatever, which is still cool, whatever. And then as we were walking out of the opening ceremony, Aki was just like, you should turn around right now. And literally, I think this distance away, it was just Obata Takeshi. It was just like walking right behind me.
It's like the scene from Death Note.
Yeah, it was. It was doing the L stare at me. And I just turned around, and at that split second, I just felt like, oh, I want to say hi to him so bad and try and get a photo. And that would have been the perfect opportunity, but I chickened out. And
now you experience Joey.
And that was the moment where I was like, oh my God, this is what being starstruck is.
Yeah. You easily could have turned around and like, oh, they honed in this. And then they probably would have started being like, oh, really?
Yeah, I could have, right? I could have so easily just started talking in Japanese. Yeah. Instant icebreaker.
Yeah.
But I just saw him and I'm like, holy shit, that's Obata Takeshi. and then I just couldn't talk to him.
Yeah.
Because that was the moment where I was like, oh, I get it. I get why now some people are like this with people they admire. It's because I just experienced that.